flashing sirens, a silent house, and one name whispered across China, Xiao Zhan. What truly happened that night when the police arrived at his door? It started like any other peaceful night in Beijing. The city was calm, wrapped in its winter chill, lights shimmering softly across quiet streets. But near one particular neighborhood, the peace shattered. Red and blue lights suddenly flared through the dark sky. Police cars arrived one after another, their sirens echoing down the narrow road. Residents peeked from their windows, whispering nervously. And soon, a single phrase rippled through social media. It's Xiao Zhan's neighborhood. Within minutes, chaos erupted online. Weibo lit up with frantic posts. Fans flooded comment sections with one question: is Xiao Zhan safe? Videos began spreading like wildfire. Blurry clips of patrol cars, police officers stepping out, and confused murmurs from onlookers. Someone typed, "I live nearby. Something's happening. There are too many police cars." Another replied, "Please tell us he's okay." Then the hashtags came. Hashtag Xiao Zhan home. Hashtag police at Xiao Zhan house. Hashtag protect Xiao Zhan. Millions of fans worldwide stayed awake through the night, eyes glued to screens, waiting, refreshing, hoping for answers. But none came. No statement from his studio. No confirmation from local authorities. Not even a small reassurance. Only silence. A heavy, unnerving silence that made the situation feel even darker. Because when a star like Xiao Zhan stays silent, the world starts to imagine everything. And in that silence, fear was born. Hours passed, but the truth didn't surface. Instead, speculation began to swirl like smoke. Some fans tried to be rational. Maybe it's just a false alarm, they said. Perhaps it's about security. But others sensed something deeper, something that reminded them of the old wounds from 2020. That year, Xiao Zhan had faced one of the most brutal fan wars in Chinese entertainment history. His name dragged through controversies he never created, his career nearly destroyed overnight. Many of his supporters remembered the pain vividly. So when the sirens came this time, the memories came rushing back. The fear of losing him again. The fear that peace for Xiao Zhan would always be temporary. Then, just as the internet reached its boiling point, another name surfaced. Wang Yibo. Unverified accounts claimed that Wang Yibo had reached out to Xiao Zhan privately days before the police incident. Others said the two had been quietly supporting each other behind the scenes. The fandom split instantly. Some dismissed it. It's just gossip. Others believed it was fate. They're still connected. Always have been. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag #Zhan, hashtag reunion, and hashtag silent connection began trending. Old videos of the untamed flooded timelines again. Fans began analyzing every look, every smile they had shared years ago, as if searching for hidden messages that might explain what was happening now. It was chaos, emotional, irrational, but deeply human. Because in the world of fandom, silence is never just silence. It's a mystery begging to be filled. By the next morning, local residents confirmed what the internet already suspected. Yes, the police had indeed been there. But for what reason, no one could say. The authorities stayed quiet. Xiao Zhan's studio released no statement, and Wang Yibo's management, equally silent. The mystery deepened, and with it, anxiety. But then, small fragments of truth began to surface. Some fan accounts claimed that a suspicious individual had been seen near Xiao Zhan's gated residence earlier that evening. Others said there had been repeated security concerns over the past few weeks. If true, it wasn't the first time. Both Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo have faced the darker side of fame. Stalkers, obsessive fans who track their schedules, leak private information, and blur the line between love and intrusion. This is the price of being adored by millions. The loss of peace, the absence of normalcy. And maybe that night, the flashing sirens weren't a symbol of scandal, but of protection. Protection from obsession. Protection from fear. Still, the image of Xiao Zhan sitting quietly inside his home as sirens wailed outside broke the hearts of many. Because fame, for all its beauty, can also feel like a cage made of light. Just when the chaos seemed to settle, something happened that reignited every emotion. On Wang Yibo's private fan platform, a message appeared. It was short, unadorned, but piercing. Sometimes, you protect someone without being seen. No hashtags, no names, no tags. Yet the meaning was impossible to miss. Within minutes, screenshots flooded social media. Fans around the world gasped. Was this Yibo's way of speaking without words? A message to Xiao Zhan, hidden in plain sight? The fandom erupted once again. Hashtags like hashtag Yibo protect Xiao Zhan, hashtag Yijan forever, and hashtag the untamed bond trended globally for hours. But this time, the tone was different. There was no chaos, no fighting, just emotion. Fans from across continents began writing letters, posting videos, and uniting under one message: protect them. Let them live peacefully. For a brief, beautiful moment, the fandom wasn't divided by rumor. It was united by love. And in that unity, something shifted. The same internet that once tore them apart had turned into a safe haven, a wall of digital protection for two stars who once carried the same storm. The truth about that night remains locked behind closed doors. Was it a stalker, a security protocol, or something entirely different? No one knows. Maybe no one ever will. But what remains clear is this: not every light that flashes is meant for showbiz. Sometimes it's a warning. Sometimes it's a shield. Fame, for Xiao Zhan, has always been a double-edged sword, bringing love, but also pain. And yet, through every storm, he stands the same way: calm, gentle, composed. He doesn't fight rumors. He doesn't seek sympathy. He just continues, silently, gracefully, to exist. Because silence, for him, is not weakness. It's strength. It's peace in a world that never stops watching. And perhaps that's what makes his bond with Wang Yibo so powerful. Not loud declarations, but quiet understanding. Not words, but presence. Two souls who once walked the same path, facing the same spotlight, the same scrutiny. Two men who learned that in the noise of fame, true connection is not in what you say, but in what you never have to explain. So maybe that night wasn't a tragedy. Maybe it was a reminder that behind the glamour, behind the cameras, and beyond the fandoms, they are still human, still vulnerable, still deserving of peace. Sometimes, love doesn't need proof. It only needs silence, a kind of silence that speaks louder than 1,000 headlines. And as the world continues to speculate, Xiao Zhan's quiet composure tells us everything we need to know. That no matter how loud the chaos gets, some hearts will always protect, even in the dark. So what do you think, drama lovers? Was it coincidence? Or was it fate whispering once again through the night? Stay tuned for more stories, only on K-Pop World.